Hi, this is Heather Pickin, and welcome to the Fearless Female Leader series. I'm really excited. This is all about empowering women stepping up to make 1,000 to 1 million online in any crisis by shifting their mindset. As an expert in human behavior and studying neuroscience for many years, I realized the biggest thing that gets women in their own way from making money is themselves. You'll learn from these leaders, these experts, some mindset strategies and tools and strategies that you need to be successful right now. I'm also giving away some digital copies of my book. So here's how you can enter. This is my latest book, The Dolce Vita Formula, A Woman's Guide to Living a Fearless and Fabulous Life. So here's how you do it. You're watching this on YouTube. All you need to do is subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. Put the thumbs up on this video and actually multiple videos throughout this series, and comment below. So there's 3 steps on what you need to do. The comment, you could just say fearless leader. That way I know you want to be entered in the drawing. So make sure you comment on every single video that you're seeing. And I hope you enjoy this series. And last thing, every single expert is giving you a free gift. It's so generous. But you got to make sure you go to fearlessandfabulousvision.com if you didn't already register, because all of the free gifts will be there for you to use and implement and grow your online business. So stay tuned. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another interview for the Fearless Female Leader series. And this series is all about up-leveling your mindset. Despite what anything is going, whatever is going on in the world, you're always going to deal with some kind of chaos. You're always going to have to put the fires out on any crisis. And my next guest knows a thing or two about being a badass. Her name is Stacy Rasky. Fingers crossed, got that right?
Yes, you got it.
And she is a best-selling author. Very impressive. She is an Iraq war veteran, badass biker chick, and Soulful Success Coach who empowers high-performing alpha women to lead with soul and scale their business with ease and authenticity. Love that. She has helped thousands of women ignite their soul and allow their light to shine by releasing the stories and doubts blocking their next level of success. And I absolutely love this, because we're going to be talking about how to be that fearless leader in your business, dealing with uncertainty and chaos. So Stacy, thank you so much for being my guest today.
Oh, thank you. I am so honored to be here and be part of this amazing series, especially at this time. So yeah, I'm so excited. Thanks.
Absolutely. No, it's funny because we were talking before this started, and, I really think that we are living in a time that is, I think I want to say interesting. It depends on, how you want to look at it, what lens. And I know by just gathering these women such as yourself is that women can really learn by embracing the stories of other women that have been through chaos, that have been through a lot of challenges. So I want to start this conversation about talking about some of your biggest challenges that have helped you, that have really helped you to catapult your way to success.
That's such a juicy question. I love it. Honestly, it was really, really interesting. And what I've noticed going through this journey, especially being an Iraq war veteran and recovering from post-traumatic stress, and even childhood trauma, was that going into entrepreneurship was like starting all over again, because I was chronically being triggered, because everything you do is outside your comfort zone. So it's like, I felt like I was literally starting over again in terms of self-management, mindset, fear management, follow through, all of those things, just because it was completely uncharted territory for me. I had never done anything like that before. And yeah, all of it's triggering.
Yeah, it's so true. It's interesting because let's talk a little bit about your background in
Mhm,
being a war veteran. I mean,
mhm.
wow. I mean, getting over that, like I kind of look at it as if you can get through that, you can definitely get through anything. So, what are some of the lessons that you have learned along the way that you can really help inspire other women out there that are looking at their business? Maybe they're in their freak out zone. Maybe they only have,
Mhm.
so much money in their bank account, or maybe they're deciding, I really want this crisis is actually a blessing in disguise. And I really want to pivot and go to the next level and grow my business exponentially. But I'm just kind of feeling like I'm in my own way.
Yes, absolutely. And that's always the case is nothing is standing in our way but ourselves. And I remember that was the biggest lesson that I learned actually when I joined the army, going through basic training was having that aha as I'm running 6 miles, singing cadence, doing things that I never thought in my lifetime I would be doing. And here I am because my mind is saying I can, my body will follow. And those same leadership lessons have panned out in allowing myself to step up to the next level. That the only thing that was ever stopping me from losing the 100 pounds that I lost, from having a six-figure, multi-six-figure business, from having the marriage of my dreams, from just speaking my truth and living my best life and being authentic and owning my alpha and my badass and being a crazy biker chick and all the things that are me. There was so much of that I was hiding. And so until I was willing to say, this is me and I love me and I accept me, and that gave myself permission to get out of my own way.
I love that. I want to kind of dive back into that story
Mhm,
about going through boot camp and being a woman. I mean, you think
mhm,
about there's this whole conversation out there today about, women empowerment. Women are not making as much as men. Women really hold themselves back. So, how did that experience kind of transform your mindset when it came to, looking at other men? And, did you have any situations where they challenged you and you were able to overcome it? But what was that experience like? Because I want to kind of build this model of
mhm,
of a mindset that women need to kind of step into that alpha, as
mhm.
being a leader.
Yeah. And it's funny though because I've always been sort of that alpha type of personality, as an oldest child, and just a lot of different things that I've done. Even as a kid, I gravitated towards more male dominated activities. I was such a tomboy. I'd skate, I'd snowboard, I'd hang out with the guys all the time. So I think there's a little bit of that inherent alpha leadership quality that has women predominantly sort of gravitating towards more of these male dominated things and really being able to successfully hold your own. But the big but, and this was the big win for me in shifting, where before I always found myself trying to prove myself in the man's world and play their game their way. And once I took my power back and said, no, no, I am owning Stacy and I am showing up in full power and authenticity as myself and embracing the feminine energy and those qualities as well, rather than rejecting them out of playing the man's game. Everything shifted because now I'm in the attraction, right? Like we love as entrepreneurs talk law of attraction. But that's the feminine energy, and being willing to say, okay, I can have discipline and I can have logic and I can have action, but I also need to nurture and use my empathy and my trust and my attraction, to have both sides. And when you bring all of it together holistically and use it, oh, it's literally like the seas parts in really allowing the next level of fulfillment, peace, joy, abundance in all of it, not just the business, not just the money. It shifts all of it.
I absolutely love that. I just want to go back to some of the things that you were saying
Mhm,
before, that you really grew up, in just kind of focusing or hanging out with other boys and men. So you kind of already had those beliefs in place.
mhm,
So for women that are listening to this right now, they're like, wow, I wish I could be like Stacy. I wish I could be more, kind of alpha energy, because I didn't grow up like that. What are some of the things that you suggest that women could do every single day? This is about standing in your power,
mhm,
owning your value as a woman, like charging what you want, going after your dreams. What are some of the things that women could do internally, those
mhm.
internal shifts?
So, and that's the thing too, is recognizing that we can be alpha, and all of us have alpha in us somewhere. So, even if we're not feeling the confidence in our business or professionally, there's somewhere else in your life that you are running it, no questions asked. You know what I mean? That you've got that alpha quality, that leadership capacity. It is innately in you because you're a woman, and you're a badass because you're a woman. But the mindset shift really is about building this relationship with yourself. And this is always kind of that challenge for so many of us because we're, again, socially, culturally, our patterns and programming are to be of service and to take care of everyone else. We have families and we have responsibilities and we have all these things on our plate. And so as women, we're like, okay, I got to juggle all of it, but we forget about ourselves. So my morning routine, and then I have a PM routine as well, are not just the checklist things focusing outside, but it's all the stuff that I can do to nurture my relationship with myself. So it's things like meditation. It's things like stretching and just being with myself and with my body, journaling, things to build the dialogue and get to know myself and build that relationship. And that amplifies your alpha leadership and really amplifies just being in your power because you know yourself. That's where that trust comes from.
Yeah, absolutely. And I find all too often women, they do not practice self care. They have quote unquote no routine. And so they're almost acting like men in that kind of survival mode. They got to hunt for their business.
Mm-hmm.
And it really comes down to being able to receive, being powerful in what you were talking about, having that, owning your feminine power, being a receiver. We're naturally born to be receivers. And I do believe that women have not tapped into their true power and potential. And I think we're seeing that tipping point right now as we speak. And it will continue to grow. More women are creating businesses. We're using our voice in the political landscape. So I'm actually kind of excited to see how things start shifting in the world. But I want to talk about how this also plays into owning your value when it comes to not just receiving money, but pricing, putting yourself out there. A lot of times women feel so vulnerable in creating more visibility. So, what have you found some of the strategies to really help women get into that place of owning their value, charging what they're worth, and be more visible with their message?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love that. Yeah, the visibility and the vulnerability piece and the value, we're on all the V's. I love it, the alliteration. All the V's. Again, goes back to that relationship with ourselves, where whether you're a high achiever, high performer, there's a certain innate rebellious drive that we have that sends us into entrepreneurship. This, I'm going to pave my own way. I don't want to do it anybody else's way. But with the achievement, a lot of that is so outside focused. And so, it's using something outside ourselves to fill the void, to fill the hole on the enoughness. And so until, we switch that to say, okay, let me feed the inside first to fill my cup, to build that relationship, to get to know myself, to say, wow, I like me. I love me. that's where that true understanding of your value and being able to communicate that with your potential client in terms of your offer, understanding them, having all of these pieces in alignment in a way that lights you up rather than being in the masculine energy and chasing the clients and doing a lot of the shoulds and the overthinking. It's a very different, again, it's part of that external success. And I know I did it. It was masking my pain and my shame from my traumas was all this success. I mean, a lifetime of massive success and achievement just kept me really busy avoiding getting to know myself because I was just compartmentalizing and hiding these deep wounds.
I love what you're saying, and I just want to really highlight it really is internal. If we want
Mhm.
to step into our leadership, being that fearless leader, we have to go within, because when I'm looking at, especially when you're looking at an online business, and I have bought into this before I really kind of understood, no, this is kind of an inside job. uh, Buying all the programs or working with coaches that would focus on the marketing funnels and here's the bright shiny objects, and here's here are the Lamborghinis. And it's interesting because to me that's just not my style, but I
Mhm.
find a lot of people can gravitate towards that, like, oh, this is going to solve all my problems. I have absolutely never in my experience or the clients that I've worked with found that to be the holy grail of building a successful business. And when I've done it personally myself, I've actually lost money. I started beating myself up mentally, like, why isn't this working? Maybe there's something wrong with me, until fixing that internally. So I was wondering if you could speak to that kind of marketing and that kind of male energy that just doesn't translate in our world.
I love it. And I resonate with that so much because I literally a couple months back I did a Facebook live talking about dude strategy and bro marketing and how that is not aligned, definitely not aligned for many women like us, where it's like we want to bring in more of the ease, the flow, the trust, the attraction, the authenticity. And that's just not my cup of tea. But again, there's so much of that programming in place where it's all about the external stuff. It's all about the stuff. But with you specializing in leadership as well. I mean, you've got to be it in order to do it, in order to have it. And that was also my journey until I was willing to lift the veil and get to know the heart and soul of who I am and allow that to come to the surface and speak my truth and own my shame, what I was meaning is, shame, what all the things that I was hiding until I was willing to own that. That's where my power came from. I mean, it's the darkness that allows us to shine the brightest. I wish I knew whoever said that originally, but it's so true that, bringing, being willing to own my addictions and the things that I was numbing out from and my eating disorder and all the self-abuse and how terrible I was as the inner critic, like all of that stuff is what attracts my ideal clients, being willing to share that. That's what's so cool,
Mm.
versus the dude strategy, which is like, like hustle, 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 or what I call toxic hustle, especially for the achiever women, such as myself, you know, and then the bro marketing where it's all about stuff, 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 and like forcing things on you and pushing things on you and like, oh no, wait, but there's more, and let me pressure you in with this special deal that's only available to just, ugh, I don't like it. I don't like it. I
Yeah,
just want to follow what
exactly.
feels good. I just want to follow what feels good and being willing to step into that space because we reject what feels good. Like if I didn't suffer, if it's not hard, I didn't earn it. I got to prove myself. And now going into like, no, just following what feels good. It's easy. It's fine. I like this. Good.
It's so true. I love what you're saying because we have been programmed as a society, and of course, as little girls, mostly little girls, have been programmed. You've got to be perfect. You can't take risks.
Hmm.
If you fail, hey, that's like the end of it. And all of this kind of the criticism, the comparison, never feeling good enough.
Hmm.
These are all the root issues of not being able to step into your value so that you can actually earn your worth. And I like what you said about the bro marketing. It's oh my gosh, it's so true. I really want to see a trend, and I really think it is happening where more women are in that internet space, so that we have more of an even playing field, like women developing more software, for our online businesses, because I feel, yeah, we don't want to run our businesses just like men. Now, I do want to speak to this piece of, the whole money piece. I think a lot of times women feel like, oh, I can't celebrate my big wins, landing that big, contract with a client if you're doing maybe corporate work or even one-on-one, or even, you had your best month because you did this group program. What is your opinion on talking about money? Either it's online, like, hey, I just had my 20K month or 100K month or whatever that looks like. Um, I'm just kind of curious what you think about that. Is it bad for women to celebrate those wins when we're talking about money? And what context do you think is best?
Well, I mean, I am a huge advocate about celebrating successes. I literally use a success tracker every single day. I have to. I come from that cloth of never, ever believing anything I did was ever good enough. And so part of my reprogramming and even the work I do with my clients is we're doing this every day. You've got to do it. We've got to see those good things to allow the momentum to build in our success cycle, that we actually allow our dreams to manifest. Otherwise, you were talking about it not being open to receive. We're the biggest blockers. We've got these walls, like, I'll give, but I'm not going to take that money or that compliment or that help. Right? And the same thing with the context of money, like that we keep giving power to this concept of it being bad or whatever if we don't talk about it. So I'm like, woohoo! Yay, first 20K month. I celebrate it for my clients. Woohoo! She just had her first 20K month and now it's her first 30K month. Like, whatever. Same thing with myself. Like, we need to talk about money, but I also am in integrity that I know that money is simply a result of being the is best version of myself that I can be as often as I can be. Not that it's all the time, but I know I'm a good person. I know I am being of service. I know I am creating an impact, and creating change in the world. And part of that energy exchange is obviously income. And that income allows me to invest in working with this amazing woman building my website, and this amazing woman running my social media, and this other business for this or that or whatever. Like, it is all part of this bigger abundance, like this way greater abundance. And so, yeah, we definitely need to celebrate. We need to have, be clear on our numbers, right? We need the specificity in the celebration just as much as in our vision and our goals.
Yeah, love that. Love just being able to celebrate, being able to measure your success. What you measure
Hmm.
definitely grows. I'm a big proponent of that. Now let's also talk about the other side of being in resistance, not being patient when you're not seeing the tangible results. So, what do you suggest women do as they're growing their business online? Or maybe some people that are watching, some women that are watching, they're like, okay, I know I'm skilled. I've had, so
Hmm.
many hours of just my expertise that is, that I've actually invested in, training, certifications, master's degrees, PhDs. So how do you deal with the procrastination, or not the procrastination, but the resistance and the issue of patience of not seeing the tangible results?
Mm. Well, I mean, the sabotage is always a good thing. People are always like, "Wait, what?" I always say sabotage is a really good thing because it's just a messenger that something needs to be addressed. So it's a great opportunity. The resistance and the procrastination are actually a really good thing too because they're a symptom of your inner rebel, and you're not using that rebel energy for creation in your business. Instead, it's coming out because you're ignoring some of your truth. And so for me, what I've seen in my story where I was ignoring my rebel, and inherently, like we already hit on, right? Entrepreneurship is rebellious. You're like, nope, I'm not building your dream. I'm building my dream and I'm doing it my own way. And but then we get into business, we're outside the comfort zone, we get triggered. So now I'm like, okay, I've got to follow this guru and let me get this resource, or doing the freebie chasing or the program junkies, and let me learn everyone else's way. But we're ignoring our truth and not listening and trusting ourselves. And so again, the resistance is just that messenger of like, okay, maybe this is not what I should be doing, because it's really not listening to me. And so it's an opportunity to do a little more of what we've been talking about, that inner work, and saying, okay, what do I really want? What am I passionate about? What is aligned with me? Because that resistance might be a sign maybe you're going down a path that really is not yours. Maybe it's a should. That
I
was
love that. It to me, it is like a gift instead of going, oh, this is not working. Wait a minute. You should be listening to yourself. So I
Mhm.
think that it just ties into everything that we've been talking about today. The answers are within. Now, one of the last questions I want to ask you is about seeking support and getting a mentor. A lot of times, and I find this to be true with so many women that are ambitious, they have the skills, but they're holding on to money. They don't want to invest in it because of whatever, those scarcity beliefs. And even now, like during like this kind of just uncertainty, or is it really uncertainty? I believe, you create your vision and you start taking action and things start happening. So how important is it, do you feel, to invest in yourself, invest in your success?
It is absolutely paramount. Nothing will change until you're willing to do something different. And investing in the right people is the difference. And I know it is scary. I have done the investment in the program that was the wrong program. I spent 11K, my first big program, and it was all about dude strategy and bro marketing, because I was in scarcity and fear mode, and I was looking for it was all about the dollar signs. And so I was grabbing at straws. I was in what I call princess mode. I was looking for someone to rescue my business and rescue me, and doing all the outside stuff. I was avoiding doing the inner work. But since then, I have invested, and I've had, I think, up to like 3 different coaches for different things at any given time for the last 2 years straight. And that was the catalyst to breaking through the 5-figure months. It was the catalyst to breaking the 6-figure mark in my business. It was the catalyst to really up leveling myself and in owning my personal brand, the biker chick, the veteran, the all the things that I talk about. I had to have support through that process. So absolutely opens the door. If you want somebody to invest in you as a client, you've got to be willing to do the same thing, right? I always say I can only take my clients as far as I'm willing to go myself. So I'm constantly challenging myself and investing in mentors, coaches, spiritual advisor, all kinds of different experts to help me do better, be better, have more.
Yeah, I truly believe you can't do it alone. And
Mhm.
my biggest breakthrough came when I honestly didn't have any money. And I took a leap, invested in someone that, again, it wasn't like you said, the bro strategies. And
Mhm.
I bought that ticket. I bought the 25K ticket. I bought the 10K ticket.
Mhm.
So I know how painful it can feel, but I really want women to realize, no matter what, if you've never invested in yourself, you haven't in the past, you got burned. And the reason why you got burned is because it was not the right support system. It was not in alignment with your own truth and digging deeper. So we are definitely talking that same language. So Stacy, man, I could be talking to you for so much longer, but we're actually out of time. And before we go, I know you have a free gift. So everyone that's watching this right now, just make sure you click on the link below this video. So tell us a little bit about your gift.
Oh, well, it is perfectly in alignment with what we've been talking about today. It's how your inner rebel is causing trouble and 3 steps to balance your badass. And it helps give you that dialogue with understanding the resistance, the procrastination, what's been getting in the way to allow you to show up at that next level and really get to know yourself a little bit better, because that's going to help you move forward, whether you're just starting out in business, you're pivoting, you're scaling, whatever it is. This is always a good time to check back in with you, as obviously this worldwide veil has just been lifted, creating a vacuum that's really allowing all of us to step up and show up and shine at the next level.
Woohoo! I love it. I love it. Well, thank you so much for your generous gift. And again, everyone can click on the link below this video and make sure you take advantage of that. Stacy, thank you so much for being my guest today.
You are very welcome. Thank you. This has been such a blast. This is so fun, and I love you're just amazing. I love you, and this has just been a phenomenal, phenomenal opportunity.
My pleasure. And thanks to everyone that is watching and
Mhm.
listening to this, taking notes, and also, taking inspired action on these strategies. The most important strategies are those inner strategies. I believe marketing is secondary. So make sure that you take action. Until next time, this is Heather Pickin, and live fearlessly. Well, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this interview. Make sure, if you want to be in the drawing to win one of my, or actually a copy of my latest book in digital form, do 3 things: subscribe to this channel, thumbs up, and comment below, fearless leader. I hope you enjoyed this interview, and I'll talk to you soon.